Today we're going to talk about some of the conflicts that happened between Native Americans. The most important one we'll talk about is the Beaver Wars. Remember, a conflict is a disagreement between two people or two groups of people. Native American tribes had conflict over many things. Usually they had conflict about land and who owned the land. One conflict came from beavers, though. They are called the Beaver Wars. These wars happened in the Great Lakes region, far north from Tennessee, and the circled area is the Great Lakes region, and this is where the Beaver Wars happened. During this time, the land that was in the Great Lakes region was owned by French fur trappers and the Algonquin tribes, which is a Native American tribe in the Northeast region. These people made their money by trapping beavers and then using their fur to make pelts to sell. You can see here is a fur pelt. This is what beaver fur looked like once they were ready to use it. The pelts made fancy hats that were sold in Europe. So here's some examples of some hats that they used the beaver fur to make and sell. So the conflict was that the Iroquois tribe, another tribe, saw how this worked really well for the Algonquin tribe. It made them a good amount of money, and they wanted to take control of the beaver pelt industry as well as take some of the land from the Algonquin tribe. So this caused conflict between the Iroquois and the Algonquin, and a war began for many years. So they wanted to control the beavers and who got to sell their fur and take some of the land. So who won? The Iroquois tribes had some friends from Europe, and they helped them during this conflict. Their friends from Europe gave the tribe weapons, and that helped them to be able to be stronger in their battle. Since the Iroquois had this help from the Europeans, they were able to be successful and claimed a lot of that land during the war by the year 1670. So there was also other conflict between other tribes. Let's look. The Cherokee and the Shawnee tribes had a conflict, and this was caused kind of by the Beaver Wars. So the Beaver Wars caused the Shawnee tribe to flee or run away from where their land was, and they ran south to stay safe because they didn't want to stay where they were during the Beaver Wars. So they went to where the Cherokee tribe owned some land. And for a little while, the Cherokee tribe was okay with this, but eventually the Cherokee tribe wanted the Shawnee tribe to leave and not be on their land anymore. So the Chickasaw tribe, another tribe, helped the Cherokee push the Shawnee out. And this caused a conflict between the Cherokee and the Shawnee tribe until there was a peace treaty that was made in 1768. And a peace treaty is kind of like an agreement that says that you don't want to fight anymore. And when that happened, they didn't fight anymore. And then there was one more conflict we want to look at. The Cherokee versus the Chickasaw. So if you remember, the Chickasaw helped the Cherokee get rid of the Shawnee tribe. But after they worked together, they then found themselves in a conflict. The Cherokee wanted more land for themselves to hunt on, and they wanted to take that land from the Chickasaw. And that's the tribe that helped them get their land back. But they wanted to take more land. They didn't think they had enough. These two tribes fought for 11 years until the Chickasaw won in 1769. And if you can see down here in this map, you can see where the Cherokee owned some land and the Chickasaw owned some land in what we now call Tennessee. So these are some tribes that lived where we now live, and they had conflict.